So, about a couple of years ago, I think maybe it was like 3 years ago, August of 2021, if I'm not mistaken, one of my friends decided it would be a good idea to introduce me to this server in Minecraft called Hypixel Skyblock. Now, when I first joined the server, obviously, like any of us, when we first joined, I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what to do in the game to get good, I thought maybe like diamond armor or diamond gear was the best armor in the game. I thought, is there netherite maybe I could get? I didn't know anything about the game, right? And when I got diamond armor, I realized that that's probably like the furthest thing from the best armor in Hypixel Skyblock, the best armor being Necron, obviously. Now, at this time when I joined, I think this was literally just when Crystal Hollows had released. It was like July of 2021. And, I was very intrigued by this idea of mining progression. I think the first time I mined a gemstone, I was so confused of like, why does it take forever to mine a piece of glass? And why is it giving me this thing called rough gemstone? Like, what is that? So then I watched some guides on how to get good at mining, and at the time there were no videos of Crystal Hollows. There was just videos of getting Sorrow armor, because that was the best mining armor at the time. You can get Sorrow armor from killing these mobs in the mist that are called ghosts, and they each have like 1 million HP, which is a crazy damage to do with a diamond sword, which is what I had at the time. I thought it was like the best sword in the game. Now, I tried to grind for getting Sorrow armor. I had to grind money for it, obviously, and at the time there weren't as many like lowballing guides and like flipping guides and so many like money making guides on YouTube, because there weren't as many money making methods to begin with, right? So I had to grind so many hours to get Sorrow armor, and when I got it, I recommed it, got jaded on it, got flawless gems on it, everything. And the sad thing is, the profile got deleted because I got ratted. I downloaded a funny mod. I thought that it's taking me forever to make money, so I just downloaded like a auto age flipping mod. Those are never real, guys. Do not ever download that shit unless you programmed it yourself. Do not ever download it. So that was a rat, obviously. If you don't know what RAT is, it stands for Remote Access Trojan, I think. And it's basically when they try to get your login session and then log into your account, get your profile, get the contents of your profile, and then they just, take everything and maybe, I don't know, sell it online or something. So that kind of, took my motivation away, and I took a little break, obviously, as one would when your account gets exposed to a hacker or gets banned or something happens to it where you can't play. But then I came across videos of this guy named Sweet Booty. Shout out to this guy, by the way. His videos and his challenges are probably the most insane things I've seen on YouTube, but at the same time they're very entertaining and pretty informative too. So I got back into mining again. It motivated me to come back, and this time I wanted to like actually get good at mining, like get like late game mining. I was Heart of the Mountain 6 at the time, and I had 2 million powder, which without powder buff, that's actually kind of impressive, and I'm not gonna lie. I did need to get Heart of the Mountain 7 to get late game mining, obviously. That was the highest Hotum tier. And Devon Drill was the best drill at the time, and the late game one was 655, which is one below that, and it had perfectly cut fuel tank, amber polished drill engine, and Sunnyside Goblin Omelet. And that was the late game mining, so at the time that was considered late game mining. So then I grinded all the way to get that just by powder mining and doing mining related stuff, which took me forever, by the way, because powder mining back then, it wasn't like you could click on the chest and open it. You had to actually look at all 5 of the particles, which, you know, made powder grinding take absolutely forever to open a chest, so you couldn't open more than 4 chests at a time, or else they would despawn. Like, that stat of Great Explorer wasn't a thing back then, where you could like reduce the amount of locks. So with that method, I got 7 million gemstone and 5 million mithril powder. Well, more like 6 million mithril powder, because I spent some of it on Heart of the Mountain, or I mean Peak of the Mountain, sorry. And, you know, I was doing pretty well until one day I joined this mining cult Discord, and because I wanted to join the guild, that was the best guild in the game at the time. I think it still is. And I didn't know how to join it. I saw guides and it said like it had like a crazy gemstone collection thing for me to join. Okay, just to make sure I'm getting my information right, I had to add in this little clip here. And right now there's no more mini cult anymore, but there's only mining cult. But there was this little version of the guild called mini cult where you could join for like the beginner miners, and it required 400 coal weight. Coal weight is calculated by the way you see here. So each of these that you see on the screen is equal to 1 coal weight. So, you know, 400 coal weight was a requirement for mini cult. 400 coal weight is like 500 million gemstone collection. So that was the crazy and almost impossible requirement that it had for me to join. But yeah, let's continue with the video. And you know, I had my Devon's armor at the time. I got it fully chambered, I got it recommed, I got it jaded, I got perfect gems on it, and I also had my perks that were all maxed out: mining speed and fortune, both of them. Mining speed 1, mining speed 2, mining fortune 1, mining fortune 2, and I had maxed out 655, and I just finished making like a perfectly cut fuel tank for it. And then I got a Discord message that said, to confirm your membership in mining called Discord, verify your account using this link. And I clicked on it and it said enter your username and password and like your account information for Microsoft. And I did that and didn't realize that that was also another rat. So the one that I got ratted for the sorrow, that one was, I downloaded an AH flipping mod, obviously, like I said, and it wasn't a mod, it was just a rat, obviously. This one was Discord message that needed me to verify my Discord, and then I checked the announcements on Mining Cult and realized that it was a scam. So the announcement guy said, do not click any links. That message guy is not, like, that's a rat. So I changed my passwords, I changed my email, I changed everything about the account, yet it wasn't enough. Obviously it wasn't enough. They get your login session, so they don't care about your profile. Devon armor, chambered, recommed, jaded, perfects, mining speed 2, mining fortune 2, all maxed out, like 655, all of it was gone because this guy had joined and deleted my profile. So yeah, I got ratted for the second time, and at this time I had become friends with someone who had later became my co-op, and he said that please don't quit. Like, you're the only person I play Skyblock with. I need you to not quit. Don't quit on me, please. And I can help you, like, get back. I'll get you your stuff back. We'll help you get back to where you were in mining. And at first I was like, no, why would I come back? There's no way. This game has not treated me well. He really insisted on the idea. After a couple of days, I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll join the co-op. Now this guy was a really like high level player, by the way. Like, he was level 300 at the time. Like, levels had just came out, and I was like 160 like when I got ratted. So at this point, Skyblock levels had just released, and the moment I joined his island or his co-op, I got level 54. Reason being, all of the collections and all of the grinding that he's done, I could also feed off of that and get the Skyblock XP for it. And I did, and I got level 54, so it was much easier to get back to level 160 this time. Except this time I did it through slayers and dungeons and other aspects of the game. Obviously, being hard carried with his items and his armor and weapons and his money. So everything was going pretty well until one day someone partied me in Hub 1 and asked me if I wanted this free rank. Now, I was already MVP plus, but this guy was offering MVP plus plus. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, if it's free, right? I don't care. So then I joined his party and he warped me into this like house minigame part of this Hypixel server, which I guess in that part you can customize messages. So I customized the message to where it looked completely real, like it was the Hypixel logo, it was the MVP plus plus in gold, it was my username as well. It was my username and then an MVP plus plus in gold, like how it would be if I had MVP plus plus. So I thought it was real, right? I clicked on it, I logged into my account, and then I realized that it was in fact a rat. Obviously, like nothing is free in Skyblock. No one is offering anything too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, it's probably not, right? So then I realized that I was getting ratted. I saw the logged in from a different location message on my screen, and then I told my co-op and he was like, hey, put in your items, put all of your items in this chest right here. And I put in as many items as I could, as many items as I remembered that were in my inventory and my ender chests and my personal vault and everything. So then he said that we should probably kick you, and I was like, dude, to just start this all over again, like all the skills grinding, all the catacombs grinding, bro, I've started from 0 2 times already. Like how many times do I have to start from 0? Like I was really inclined not to do it, but at the same time I knew he was right. My account was exposed to someone else, so he could take anything from the island as well, or he could add other people and then kick my friend and he would also lose all of his progress. So obviously I didn't want that to happen. I was like, you know what, fine, just kick me and we'll restart. And I had to restart all over again for the 4th time this time. But they say the 3rd time's the charm. For me, the 4th time was the charm. This time I did not get ratted, thank God. I started again. We did the exact same things we did for our other account that had just got ratted. I got up to level 160, and at this point I was so worried that this is a cursed level for me and I'm gonna get ratted somehow again. I changed all of my passwords, I changed the email, I got verification, 2-step verification. I set it up to where I had to manually log in every time I wanted to open Minecraft. So I was pretty paranoid about getting ratted at that point. But I didn't get ratted, thank God, and I kept on grinding. I got back into mining. I got my setup back. I got my max setup back. At this point, the update of Great Explorer helping you open chests, like you can click on the loot chest and it opens and you don't have to look at every single particle, had just released. So powder mining was very easy at that point. And I powder mined up to like 10 million powder, and then we had the update of Diamond Essence and Gold Essence in loot chests release, which made powder mining a little bit more annoying, but still pretty easy compared to like when I had my maxed mining account ratted, So it was not too difficult to get to 10 mil. And then I got into farming because I got bored of mining, and it was derpy, I remember, and I had squash armor. I farmed mushrooms. I didn't do any visitors, which was a mistake, by the way. If you do visitors, it goes by a lot faster than if you just farm. So I farmed mushrooms for a while. I got farming 42 by the time derpy was over, and I had my fermento, and then I grinded mining, I did lowballing, I did farming. I was doing a lot of things for money, and I got to the point where I had full Mossy Fermento, full Jaded Devon with perfect gems, and a maxed out 655, legendary Skatha, by the way. And then for farming, I had around 1200 farming fortune. So at this point, I was like, I'm gonna start this challenge of farming like 20,000 enchanted mutant nether warts. The reason being because you were allowed to have mutant nether warts in your sacks at that point. Like that was when the update had released. I was like, I want to fill my sack all the way. And obviously I didn't complete the challenge because it's absolutely nuts. I might complete the challenge on this account, but on that account I was like, no, there's no way. So I got up to 5,500 I think mutant nether warts, but didn't get to 20,000. Then I sold my sacks, which gave me 700 mil. I already had 1 bill from grinding, mining, and lowballing. I had 1.7 bill purse, and at this point I also already had a hype, so life was pretty good. The only thing I didn't have was a Terminator, which I asked my co-op. I was like, hey, can I borrow your Ender Dragon? And then I borrowed his E-Drag, used my hype, got E-Man 7, and then crafted a Terminator 10 started, and then got Soul Eater 5 on it, and started doing dungeons again. By this point, I was Kata 37, which is where my co-op was when I joined the co-op. And at this point, when I got to Kata 37, he was Kata 50. And that was his ultimate goal. Like my ultimate goal being Devon's Drill, his ultimate goal was Kata 50, and he got it. By the time he got it, he was like, I have no reason to play the game anymore. So he kind of quit. He was logging in like once a day, just like collect minions or whatever. And he was like, you know what? You can just have my items. I'm not going to need them. And I trust you. I know you're not going to just, steal them. So I'm going to give you all my items and use them to grind. Just get to like a really high level. And I was like, all right, bet. But at this point, when I got his items, I wasn't motivated to play at all because I was like, I already have everything. I have a hype, I have a term, and I have all of his items. Like I have another hype and 2 other terms. Like, why? Why do I need to grind? So I took a break, like a long break from the game. When I came back, I started playing on this solo profile that you see me farming on. And, I was maybe at the point of having glacial armor. So wasn't really progressed. I was still inclined to come back to the co-op. But at the same time, it was all of his items again. It felt like I didn't deserve to have all of this stuff to grind the skills. So I was like, one of the most appealing parts of this game is the fact that I can grind for everything myself, and everything is a reflection of how much time I put into the game. And that was taken away when he gave me all of his stuff, right? So that's one of the reasons why I took a long break, is because I didn't feel like I earned any of the things that I had. So again, when I got back to the co-op, I was like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. I'm just gonna keep thinking about the fact that I don't deserve this and blah blah blah. So I got back to my solo profile, and I got back to like the beginning stages of the game, which had been skipped because of the fact that I got level 54 the instant that I joined that other co-op, right? So then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play this solo account. And my co-op saw that I was just playing solo account, so he was like, there's no point of you even being here, let me just have my items back. And I wasn't getting on too much back then either. I was like getting on maybe once a week. So he was like, I'm gonna kick you, unfortunately, because I need my items. And by the time I saw that message, I was like, you know what, that's actually fair enough. I didn't really play and I didn't feel like I deserved the items, so kicking me is probably the most logical thing you could do if you want your items back, instead of wait for me to get on that once a week that I got on. So then he was like, if you want to come back to the co-op, just let me know, I can add you back. I'm like, nah, I don't want to come back. He was like, what? Why do you not want to come back? You have all these like grinding that you did. I'm like, like half of the grinding was just because you helped me and you gave me your items. Like the E-Man 7 was definitely all you. Like I didn't even pay for the E-Drag that I borrowed. And all the other parts that I did pay for, it still felt like I didn't deserve it because you just borrowed them to me instead of me having to grind for them and get them myself. So I'm just gonna play on this solo profile for now and just make my own progress, you know? To which he didn't understand, but he accepted it. He respected it. He was like, you know what? Fine, do whatever you want. I'm not playing the game that much anymore anyway, so. But yeah, this is where I'm at now. I got that solo profile to where it is now, where I have Mossy Fermento, where I'm getting golden mushroom, and in terms of mining, I'm Heart of the Mountain tier 6. I literally just got Autumn 6, which allowed me to buy this beautiful gemstone gauntlet. And that's going to help us a lot in terms of getting Dwarven commissions in order to get Autumn 7 and then eventually Autumn 10. And in terms of fishing, I have not progressed that much because I haven't done any fishing because I have minions down for fishing. I'm waiting for Derpy to collect them. And then we have foraging, which I haven't done much of because the game has proven that every time there is an update coming out related to a certain skill, it makes that skill 10 times easier to grind. And then enchanting, I just started doing daily experiments and resetting them, as well as doing the free ones. So this should be getting to like level 60 pretty soon. Alchemy, I only got it to a point where I could get 18-hour got pots. I'll eventually max it out. I don't know when. It requires a lot of money and a lot of time. And quite frankly, also a lot of patience. So we'll do that at some point. Carpentry is passive. It's not that difficult to level up. Taming is also passive. Dungeoneering requires money, and that's why I'm doing mining and farming so much, because that's the thing. That's the two skills that I've been told you need in order to grind money if you want to get into dungeons and combat related stuff. I'm not really progressed in terms of combat stuff at all. Like I'm combat 26 and I'm Kata 16, and my slayers aren't even like I don't even have auto slayer unlocked because I have tarantula level 4. So yeah, I'll eventually get slayers up for sure because those don't really require money, and I already have like a Shadow Fury, one for all Shadow Fury, to grind them pretty easily. I know that one for all isn't the best enchant because, you know, you miss out on looting 4 and everything, but I don't really care. I just want to do them fast, you know. But yeah, that's how far my account has progressed so far, and I'll share the rest of the progress with you guys once I make it. As of right now, I'm doing this bingo challenge, which I've completed 17 goals out of 20. So if I just go to the hub, yeah, I've completed 17 out of 20. I need 70,000 spruce collection, which is going to be insane to get. And then uncommon rock pet and 52,000 diamond collection. I have minions down for diamond. I have 5,000 ores mined for the rock pet, so it should be pretty easy to get. Once I'm done with that, I'll come back to the profile and start making videos for the rest of the journey on this profile. Well, that was a lot of talking. Yeah, that was the story behind me getting ratted 3 times and then getting on an account that didn't get ratted and then making the progress of a lifetime just to feel like I didn't deserve it, and then restarting a new profile, this time a solo one. I really appreciate you guys for watching this. If you've made it this far, comment the number 22 so that I know you've made it all the way into the end. Thanks again, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. See you guys next time.